What we're really trying to do here is to educate you on commercial real estate investing so that you can go out and do these projects yourself. And look, sometimes there's just stuff that's gonna happen that you can't account for. One of the stories that I'm gonna share with you today is something that I never thought would happen to me. But it all came down to how we handled it. It could have absolutely cost us everything. But we worked through it, and that's that. That's real estate. The best real estate investors are problem solvers. That's all that matters. So first up, this was actually on the first deal that I ever did. I had 2 partners on it. You can actually check out this video here if you want to dive deeper into the story of that deal. But one thing that I didn't really kind of fully share in that video is that one of my partners who had signed on the debt, he was one of the, there's only 3 of us, right? So he is 1/3 of the decision making at that project. He disappeared overnight. He took a lot of people's money, and he had basically been forging signatures on documents saying that certain people had invested when they hadn't. He had told, and this wasn't in my project, this was just in his own personal projects. He had double sold shares, which meant you would buy in for $50,000 and then he would sell that exact same share to somebody else for $50,000 again. So where was that money going? So it ended up all kind of coming crashing down pretty significantly when he took the final draw from his bank for a construction project that he was working on and disappeared. Never paid the contractor. So of course that whole project started freaking out. Well, he and I were supposed to close on a second property together about a week before stuff started getting weird. I would call him, I would text him, he wouldn't respond. He wouldn't respond to the title company. We needed to get updated personal financials over to everybody. We needed to get all this stuff in for the bank so that we could close on time. Well, the day of closing arrives, crickets. Absolutely nothing. Can't get him to show up. I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's out of town, maybe he's on an island somewhere and doesn't have service, and he just didn't fully think through all of this. Well, it turns out, and I had no idea all this other stuff was going on in the background, that was when he decided to just disappear. That actually started to affect 2 different deals, right? Because we were supposed to close. That was day of closing, he's gone. We had to move the closing. I had to negotiate with the seller to let them know what was going on. We were trying to figure everything else out. Ended up being able to bring in another investor that I partnered with, and we were able to close it about 2 weeks later, and which is very rare. I had a very good partner, and still, he and I are still partners in this deal to this day. And that left me, we got that deal figured out, but that left me with this first deal that I had ever done where he was a guarantor on the note. The one thing that really scared us was if he ended up getting investigated by the federal government, which he still may be, I don't know, then my property and this other investor that was involved in the project with him, we could get tied up into a lawsuit that would take years. It would freeze the asset because he owes a lot of other people money. He owns shares of this asset. We wouldn't be able to do anything without the federal government's permission. And I didn't want to go through any of that. So I've obviously never had to deal with that. It was not a very fun time. But fortunately, we were able to get it figured out. We got him out of the deal, not through any communication with him, but because somebody else ended up getting a settlement against him because he just never showed up to court. So yeah, that was it. I mean, the deal ended up not doing as well because of a lot of things that went wrong with it. When you have 1/3 of your partnership leave that has the relationship with the bank, things get a little, there's a little tension going around with everybody. We ended up still coming out in the black on that project, which I'm very excited about. Couldn't have gone really any better. So there you have it. I mean, that's one that you will never think could happen to you. The guy just disappeared overnight, and I think that he escaped with millions of dollars. But we'll see. I don't know.
Where do you think he is?
He's still in Nashville.
Oh, he's still in Nashville.
I've seen him around every now and then. He's not really in real estate anymore. I don't know what he's doing. If he did make off with millions of dollars, I'm sure he's just enjoying early retirement. We will see.